Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out on this cold, cold night to celebrate our democracy, and we're so glad you're here. Thank you so much. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you please remain standing for a moment of silence for the losses we have suffered in our country in the last few weeks? Thank you. Catherine, would you come forward, please?
This is not in the program, but it's the poem that I saw today that was written by National Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman, who wrote the poem that she read at, oh dear, how can I, oh, I'm near that. Well, that's it. Okay. There you go. Okay. She wrote and presented the poem at Joe Biden's inauguration. Excellent poet. And she's published a poem today for the loss of Alex Pretty last Saturday. She had also written one for Renee Good. So this one is, I'll read the one that just came out today, called For Alex Jeffrey Pretty, Murdered by ICE, January 24th, 2026, by Amanda Gorman. We wake with no words, just woe and wound. Our own country shooting us in the back is not just brutality, it's jarring betrayal, not enforcement, but execution. Message: love your people and you will die. Yet our greatest threat isn't the outsiders among us, but those among us who never look within. Fear not those without papers, but those without conscience. Know that to care intensively united is to carry both pain, dark horror for today, and a profound, daring hope for tomorrow. We can feel we have nothing to give and still beloved this world waiting, trembling to change. If we cannot find words, may we find the will. If we ever lose hope, may we never lose our humanity. The only undying thing is mercy, the courage to open ourselves like doors, hug our neighbor, and save one more bright, impossible life.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Is that thing off?
Yeah.
All right. I did not get to look at the audience very closely, but I know we do have some newly elected city council members here. I'd like to recognize Henry Hobson. Would you stand up? Is Sharon here? Okay. What about Jesse? Okay. All right. Well, we're so proud that they were elected, and thank you so much for serving and your willingness to serve. And we're very proud that we have representation. We also have newly elected Jay Doyle, and he's going to speak to us briefly about a theme that is very near to my heart, and it's affordable housing. Jay.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It was like 9 to 10 months ago, the first public appearance I made as a candidate was before this group, and I appreciate you letting me come back again and speak to you again this evening. What we're talking about this evening is not necessarily affordable housing, it's similar though. What we're trying to do is create a redevelopment authority in the city of Georgetown, where we will go in and go into the bad neighborhoods, buy up some property, rehabilitate it, and then resell it, or possibly even give it back to the people by grant. I believe I have the funding in place for this. I also have a draft of the ordinance. We will need to put it in place. What I'm hoping to do here tonight is possibly see if there's any volunteers that would help me draft the charter that we would need to put this officially in place and start moving forward and actually buying and redeveloping property. I know this is a very compassionate, patriotic organization. I've seen you guys marching on Oceans Highway and taking buses up to Columbia for the No Kings rally. I'm hoping that maybe we can take some of that energy and refocus it into doing some things like this redevelopment authority and showing people what we can do when we work together. We had a very historic election in Georgetown. We're hoping we can carry that momentum into the county, and that's why I'm trying to get people in the county involved as well. We're in the process of trying to form a coalition. I met with the mayor of Andrews, and he's very much on board. We've talked to some of the county councilors. They agree with us. And you know, if you look around the county, there's a lot of organizations that aren't happy with how things are being run. Keep It Green, I think a lot of people here are unhappy with how the county operates. So if we can get all these organizations and join a coalition, we can actually start making some substantial changes. So that brings me back to Georgetown and the Redevelopment Authority. If anybody has any experience with these sort of things, with any legal experience, real estate, or nonprofit organizations, I would be really appreciative if you could reach out to me and you'd help me get this thing off the ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, new mayor of Georgetown. Thank you so much. We're so pleased. Okay, now we're going to do some fun things. The first song, I'm going to get out of the way here. We're going to sing some songs.
Sorry about these microphone problems, y'all. Some of you may know that we wanted to have some patriotic singing, some motivational activities that we could do. You know, we've got our birthday that we're celebrating. Is it okay if I do this?
Yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. We've been in existence for 1 year. We've built up some momentum. We've done some pretty significant things. Barbie will tell you about those. I thought that was coming first.
Oops.
Lisa, can we go back to the slides that...
I thought the slides were doing all the work. I mean, no, you have to go back. Oh.
Well, we just had our first birthday, and no, we're not even toddling yet. Okay.
Can you go back to the slides where we review our what we did this year?
Sure. No, this one, that part's yours. But this is the thing I did want to tell you. We have done some significant things. We built up a good bit of momentum, and we don't want to lose it, okay? Thanksgiving was great, Christmas was great, Hanukkah. But we need to move forward toward the midterms, and that's what this is about this evening. So part of our meeting this evening is a pep rally, okay? Hence the patriotic songs. We're going to have some readings, and I hope that you will take
a sense of unity from this meeting, and then take every opportunity to push forward just a little bit closer, a little bit harder. Encourage your neighbors, your friends, your family, get everybody registered to vote. Drive people to the polls, okay? That's what we're aiming for, because we really could turn this around.
Okay, so you can kind of see some of the things we did. That middle top picture was the, at the community garden for the, Pride Day. We did, the sneaky protesters got busy and put out, things in yards and in stores. We had, John Benson come talk to us. We had some different social events, town halls, peaceful protests. We had a lot of peaceful protests, and we just appreciate everybody that came to those. That was our very first meeting. We had some ideas. We came up with some ideas of things to do. And anyway, we're proud that we've been around for a year now, and we want to keep going. And we're just thankful that you're here. And I don't think I need to say anything else. Sorry. It's a grand old flag, Lisa. You're a grand old flag. Yeah, we're ready.
former student of mine. Oh yeah, with this. Test that. Try a word.
A word.
Okay, that's good. I want to introduce a former student of mine. This is Megan Power. She's originally from Sumter, South Carolina. I met her when we were both at Francis Marion University in Florence. We met in sophomore lit, and she just did so good. She did so well that I wanted her to be one of my interns when she got ready to be a senior. And son of a gun, she said yes. And then after she was an intern, she was one of my research assistants. Well, and I was really sad when she graduated. I mean, yeah, I should. I'm very proud of her. She did great. She got a bachelor's degree in elementary education and teaching. You're still working on your master's, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, she's still working on a master's, and she is a third grade teacher at Butler Academy. That's in Hartsville, South Carolina. She drove all the way here. Okay. Megan is going to be one of our readers this evening. She's going to read excerpts from a speech by Kamala Harris. Now, this is a speech that Kamala Harris delivered on November 6th in 2024. It was at the end of the election. She did the dignified thing and went to Howard University, where she had earned one of her degrees. And that's in Washington, D.C., in case you don't know. She went to Howard University to make her concession speech. Formally, this is considered a concession speech. But I think what you will hear as Megan reads is that this is really a different kind of speech. It's really a this ain't over speech. Take it, kid.
Can everyone hear me? A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny, and anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States, and loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I'm here to say that while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals that at heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect the America we are at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own bodies and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence. And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect, by looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor, by always using our strength to lift people up, to fight for the dignity that all people deserve. This fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work, and the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. On the campaign, I would often say that when we fight, we win, but sometimes the fight takes a while. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible just because it has never been done before. You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. Do not despair. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. We must find within ourselves the strength and the courage and resolve to take a stand, to fight for justice, to fight for ourselves, and to fight for others. So let courage be our inspiration, let determination be our charge, to follow the light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and of service. And may that word guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Okay, it's time for America the Beautiful.
A little more history. On March the 7th, 2015, President Barack Obama. Okay, this is your part. All right. Y'all, my regular reader is not here. And so Tom is going to stand in. Okay?
And I'm sorry.
No, you wait until I'm ready.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. I'll have to pick it up.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. All right, we're gonna pass this back and forth. Here's what I wanted to tell you about President Obama. He made a commemoration speech in 2015, remembering the important march from Selma to Montgomery. And he made this commemorative speech in front of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. For those of you who don't remember, or if you were born yesterday, the first march started on the 7th. It took 3 times. The first time, the people made it just across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And then there were sheriffs and other officials waiting for them. They had them cornered. This is the beginning of the march from Selma to Montgomery, and on that day, it ended right there at the bridge. That's why now we call it Bloody Sunday. 2 days later, Martin Luther King led the second attempt, but that was interrupted because of a court order that came down that said, you can't do this. So the third attempt occurred on March 21st, and it took days, 3 to 4 days, to cover the miles from Selma to Montgomery, but they made it. They made it, and they went up the steps of the Capitol in Alabama, and they staged a protest, and they were heard. There were changes after that. They didn't come fast, but they came. And President Obama's words in 2015 still ring true today. I don't have to tell any of you what's going on in our capital, in Minnesota, in all kinds of places where our democracy is threatened. And so it seems to me that this evening would be a good time to hear again the words from our president as he talks about the bravery, the courage, the unending tenacity of the activists who took on a Herculean task peacefully and ultimately made changes, all that help all of us in our country. You start right there.
Thank you. Word. The Americans who crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge were not physically imposing, but they gave courage to millions. They held no elected office, but they led a nation. They marched as Americans for equal treatment promised to them almost a century before. What they did reverberates through the ages, not because the change they won was preordained, not because their victory was complete, but because they proved that nonviolent change is possible, that love and hope can conquer hate. Selma is not some outlier in the American experience. That's why it's not a museum or a static monument to behold from a distance. Selma was action, the manifestation of a creed written into our founding documents. We, the people, in order to form a more perfect union, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal,
These are not just words. They're a living thing, a call to action, a roadmap for citizenship, and an insistence in the capacity of free men and women to shape our own destiny. For founders like Franklin and Jefferson, for leaders like Lincoln and FDR, the success of our experiment in self-government rested on engaging all of our citizens in this work. And that's what we celebrate here. That's what this moment is all about. One leg of our long journey toward freedom. It's the idea held by generations of citizens who believe that America is a constant work in progress, who believe that loving this country requires more than singing its praises or avoiding uncomfortable truths. It requires the occasional disruption, the willingness to speak out for what is right, to shake up the status quo. That's America. That's what makes us unique. That's what cements our reputation as a beacon of opportunity. Because of what regular people did in Selma, the doors of opportunity swung open, not just for Black folks, but for every American. Women marched through those doors. Latinos marched through those doors. Asian Americans, gay Americans, Americans with disabilities, they all came through those doors.
But if Selma taught us anything, it's that our work is never done. The American experiment in self-government gives work and purpose to each generation, requiring our own full capacity, our responsibility to do what we can to make America better. The march is not yet over. The race is not yet won. Reaching that blessed destination where we are judged, all of us, by the content of our character requires admitting as much, facing up to the truth. There's nothing America can't handle that we actually look squarely at the problem. And this is work for all Americans, not just some, not just whites, not just Blacks. If we want to honor the courage of those who marched across the bridge in Selma, then all of us are called to possess their moral imagination. All of us will need to feel as they did, the fierce urgency of now. All of us need to recognize that change depends on our actions, our attitudes, the things we teach our children. And if we make such an effort, no matter how hard it may sometimes seem, laws can be passed and consciences can be stirred and consensus can be built. And with effort, we can protect the foundation stone of our democracy for which so many marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And that is the right to vote. Of course, our democracy is not the task of Congress alone, or the courts alone, or even the president alone. Fellow marchers, so much has changed in 60 years, but we have not changed as the imperative of fulfilling our roles as citizens. That's what it means to love America. That's what it means to believe in America. That's what it means when we say America is exceptional. For we were born of change, declaring ourselves entitled not by bloodline, but endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. We secure our rights and responsibilities through a system of self-government of and by and for the people. That's why we argue and fight with so much passion and conviction, because we know our efforts matter. We know America is what we make of it.
Look at our history. We are Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea. pioneers who braved the unfamiliar, followed by a stampede of farmers and miners and entrepreneurs and hucksters. That's our spirit. That's who we are. We are Sojourner Truth and Fannie Lou Hamer, women who could do as much as any man and then some. And we're Susan B. Anthony, who shook the system until the law reflected the truth. That is our character. We're the immigrants who stowed away on ships to reach these shores, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free, Holocaust survivors, Soviet defectors, the lost boys of Sudan. We're the hopeful strivers who cross the Rio Grande because we want our kids to know a better life. That's how we came to be. We're the slaves who built the White House and the economy of the South. We're the ranch hands and the cowboys who opened up the West, and countless laborers who laid rail and raised skyscrapers and organized for workers' rights. We're the firefighters who rushed into those buildings on 9/11, the volunteers who signed up to fight in Afghanistan and Iraq. We're the gay Americans whose blood ran in the streets of San Francisco and New York, just as blood ran down the Edmund Pettus Bridge. We are storytellers, writers, poets, artists who abhor an airbrushed history, who abhor unfairness and despise hypocrisy and give voice to the voiceless and tell truths that must be told.
That's what America is. Not stock photos or airbrushed histories or feeble attempts to define some of us more American than others. We respect the past, but we don't pine for the past. We don't fear the future. We grab for it. That's why someone like John Lewis, at the ripe old age of 25, could lead a mighty march. And that's what people here today and all across this country must take away from our history. You are America, unconstrained by habit and convention, unencumbered by what is, because you're ready to seize what ought to be. For everywhere in this country, there are first steps to be taken. There's new ground to cover. There are more bridges to cross. And it is you who the nation is waiting to follow. Because Selma shows us that America is not the project of any one person. Because the single most powerful word in our democracy is the word we. We the people. We shall overcome. Yes, we can. That word is owned by no one. It belongs to everyone. Oh, what a glorious task we are given, to continually try to improve this great nation of ours. 60 years from Bloody Sunday, our march is not yet finished, but we're getting closer. Our job's easier because somebody already got us through the first mile. Somebody already got us over that bridge. When it feels the road is too hard, when the torch we've been passed feels too heavy, we will wait, remember those early travelers and draw strength from their example. We honor those who walked so we could run. We must run so our children soar, and we will not grow weary, for we believe in this country's sacred promise. May God bless those warriors of justice no longer with us, and bless the United States of America. Thank you, everyone. to meet John Lewis. John Lewis was a great man. I heard a little bit about him. But about 8 years ago, 10 years ago, there was an opera performed at the Kennedy Center that had to do with the Civil War and with 1965. And of course, John Lewis was a character in that opera. I did not get to play John Lewis, but I did get to play Lyndon Johnson.
Okay, we're gonna crank up the pep. Just like in high school, all right? And that's what this next part is for. In order to crank up the pep, we need words to say in unison to feel that unity. So I took one of our old cheers from Auburn High School and I changed it up a little. It used to be, we are mighty, we are more, we're the class of '74. But now, this is about us. And I don't mind putting these chants and cheers in front of a group that's largely gray-headed because I know we're all still very much like we were in high school. So, the idea here is that we're gonna start and as a small group, let you catch on, and then we're gonna repeat it like 2 or 3 times. Is that good? Okay, so you're with me. All right. We are mighty, we are more than we've ever dreamed before. We are mighty, we are more than we've ever dreamed before. We are mighty, we are more than we've ever dreamed before. We are mighty, we are more than we've ever dreamed before. You got it? Okay, so I want you to try to remember these things so that when you join the march on the bike path in February, you know, these things will just spontaneously come out. All right, here's another one. Next. Okay. As the founders wisely wrote, people rule when people vote.
As the founders wisely wrote, people rule when people vote. As the founders wisely wrote, people rule when people vote. As the founders wisely wrote, people rule when people vote.
All right, very good. One more like this from Auburn High School. Don't need stones, don't need sticks, we will vote in 26. Don't need stones, don't need sticks, we will vote in 26. Don't need stones, don't need sticks, we will vote in 26. Don't need stones, don't need sticks, we will vote in 26. I like this one.
This one's on you.
Yes, I know. Wait. Do not fear. I graduated from Auburn High School and I went on to Auburn University. And I had a friend who was in the Auburn University marching band. He played the tuba. And there was this cheer that I learned because every football game at home, these big tuba players would stick me in the middle of them and sneak me in. And I got to sit with the band and rock and sway when they played all their songs and hip hip hooray, it was great. Okay, so they taught me this nonsense cheer. All right, and it used to be about the Auburn Tigers. We're not the Auburn Tigers. We're midterm voters. Okay? Midterm voters. And that's what we want to get the pep up for. So here's how this goes. Just listen. And then you can do it next. Hullabaloo, connect, connect, hullabaloo, connect, connect, wah-hee, wah-ha, chicken, chicken, hoorah, 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 voter, voter, rah-rah, ching, ching, chow, chow, boom, boom, wow, wow, midterms, midterms, midterm voters, rah-rah. Now, doesn't that make you feel happy? Okay, Barbie, you come over here with me. Donna, you come over here with me. Yeah, okay, we don't want to pick somebody from the audience and make them do it. All right, now, our little group is going to do it for you again, okay? So you can learn it really well, and then we're all going to do it.
You're covering the screen.
Okay, this is our cheer for midterm voters. A little faster.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hullabaloo, connect, connect, hullabaloo, connect, connect, wah-hee, wah-ha, chicken, chicken, hoorah, 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 voter, voter, rah-rah, ching, ching, chow, chow, boom, boom, wow, wow, midterms, midterms, midterm voters, rah-rah. Got it? Okay. All right, we're all going to do it now. You're with me, right? All right, here. If you want to. Yeah, y'all go out, spread it out. No. All right. Okay, here we go. Hullabaloo, connect, connect, hullabaloo, connect, connect, wah-hee, wah-ha, chicken, chicken, hoorah, 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 voter, voter, rah-rah, ching, ching, chow, chow, boom, boom, wow, wow, midterms, midterms, midterm voters, rah-rah. One more time? Okay, all right, you kind of got to get the syncopation. Okay, ready? Yeah. Hullabaloo, connect, connect, hullabaloo, connect, connect, wah-hee, wah-ha, chicken, chicken, hoorah, 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 voter, voter, rah-rah, ching, ching, chow, chow, boom, boom, wow, wow, midterms, midterms, midterm voters, rah-rah. Oh, yes.
So pay attention to your phone when you type something in, because my husband thought I was going to a satanic committee meeting. It was really the strategic committee meeting for the February 14th block. And on that back table, since the focus on that is we love our country, there's some napkins that are the heart shaped of the American flag. If you want to affix them to your sign because you're coming to join us, please help yourself.
And there's snacks.
Oh yeah, there's snacks back there too. After we serenade you. Okay.
Okay, now we're going to do the battle hymn of Indigo Indivisible. We're not finished yet. I bet you. Okay, yeah.
Sorry application of the law, you have trampled on the Constitution built for one and all. Now your million health response is constant.
closing remarks and announcements. Let's see, I would like Eric to just mention that Valentine's Day March that's coming up in February. Eric has been planning it. He's a good planner. He planned our bus trip too.
So I actually didn't do it. Rita and her team, we had a group of people. We had Rita Smith, we had Madonna Brenneman, we had Laura Crone. If you're here, stand up so people know who you are. Yeah, you get to be introduced.
Madonna.
Joanne Manhart. I always want to say Manhart because I have my heart. Manhart and Barbie are all the team that came together to do this. So give them a round of applause. All right, so February the 14th on the bike path, starting at Food Line. Everybody knows Food Line is.
Food Line, yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to go all the way down to South Causeway and come all the way back. And if you want to go, well, go ahead. Yeah. North Causeway. I'm going the other way. North Causeway coming back. If you don't want to go all the way down, that's fine. You can do. We want everybody to try to stay in groups because groups are better. So it starts at 10. We'll be done by 12. Parking, Food Line, Lowe's parking lot, public if you want to walk over there. So just beware you don't park in anybody's garage. Don't park in anybody's private things because you will get towed and you'd like a car to get home, yes. So just beware of that. The other thing is stay on the bike path because that's the public part. You get off the public path, you're no longer in the public park. You got to keep on moving as much as you can, and you can't block people. If someone's riding their bike or walking, things like that, just be aware of that. If you have not registered, we have, it's up there, it's on Mobilize, but you can go to the National Indivisible, go to the net, you'll see it. Go ahead and register for that. And the theme, which is really important, you can talk about
All right, I'll speak to the theme of the march, and I give credit to Madonna for this because the march is February 14th, and of course that's Valentine's Day. So we're staying positive, we're using the love thing because we love our country. We want to keep it positive. We didn't want to make it negative that we hate this or against that. We want to keep it positive. We are for this. And unfortunately, the MAGAs believe that we must hate America. We must hate our country, and that's farthest from the truth. We love our country. It's our government that we disagree with, but we love our country. And if you love your country, you speak out when you see it going in the wrong direction. And that's what we're doing. Protest is patriotic, speaking out is patriotic. So the theme is we love our country. We love our Constitution, we love our democracy, we love our veterans, we love our First Amendment rights. Ironically, maybe we like our Second Amendment rights, who knows? So that is the theme. So like I said, we love our immigrant community, we love our country, our democracy, our veterans, the list goes on and on. And feel free to use these parts to, for your signs. I would also urge discretion in advertising this on social media that may not be like-minded. You recall a hands-off march was posted on a generic Paul's Island page, and it got a lot of hate, anger, and downright threatening comments from our MAGA buddies. So just discretion, share with like-minded groups, show up. But like I said, I would exercise discretion in posting to like Paul's Island Peeps or Next Door or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else that you
Yeah,
wanted to
so
add?
I got two things.
Yeah.
So the message is really important. We want to try, when you make your signs, to try to keep the theme, because what we're trying to do, and what all these things are trying to do, is we're trying to communicate to our elected officials what our dissatisfaction or what we think should happen. We're also trying to communicate to our neighbors, fellow citizens, and voters to say, these are what we think, and we would like you to join us. So keeping the message and keeping it consistent is very, very important, like anything else. And the last thing is, we need marshals. In other words, we want to put some people along the route so we can keep things flowing, also so people can ask questions and try to keep things going. So I need about 10 people. I got a few, but if you're interested, come see me back there at the end.
Great, thank you.
You get nice little yellow vests. So if you want nice little yellow vests, and I want to pair them up, that's why I need to know.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah.
Go along. The sheriff's department's out there, there'll be a lot of them.
There are a lot of them.
So
They
they're
really show
very
up.
helpful, they're very friendly, when you go by.
They're very
say
friendly,
hi.
they're very friendly, yeah.
So that's the two things, and all the peaceful protesters, guys who are my group want to meet over there too for about 30 seconds.
Okay, thank
That's all
you,
I got.
thank you, Eric. Okay, we have, the League of Women Voters is doing a program. Karen, could you tell us about it?
Yeah, you all want to come back. It would be Monday, March 2nd, right here in the auditorium at 5 p.m. We have Ron Bird. For those of you who don't know, he is the chairperson of the Georgetown County Elections Board, and he will give a lecture on election integrity. It's to dispel any doubts you have about the sanctity of your ballot and the safety of the vote. He will also be talking about the history of voting here in South Carolina, so it should be very interesting. Please come back. Again, the time is 5 o'clock on Monday, the 2nd of March. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, well, Lisa has a, go ahead.
Yeah, Mark Bear of P-Flag asked me to pass along some announcements. He has back-to-back meetings today, but we had a really good turnout for the Band Together screening and the ACLU advocacy training. So, and there's interest in having more of that. We're letting them know. It was really good. 97 people come out for that between the Georgetown training and the Surfside training. There are going to be 2 vigil services, one at Trinity Presbyterian up in Surfside, one at Holy Cross Faith Memorial Church on February 1st in response to the tragedy that's happening in Minnesota, so wanted to get that word out.
Hope y'all can come to one of those, if you're able to come.
This is
one of
really
those.
just been organized. And there's a new organization, South Carolina Forum, that's formed that I'm an ambassador for. If you want more information, you probably can't read all of this. I've got it printed out in the back, but they're looking to give get the voice of the people back into politics before, not just the voter box, but to be able to inform new candidates, newly elected officials, and hopefully hold existing elected officials accountable for not doing what the people want. So it's a really interesting concept, but it's you'll hear more about it. If you have any interest, let me know. We've got our refreshments in the back, so there'll be a little bit of time to chat.
Who else needs to make an announcement? Go ahead. Oh yeah, go ahead. Stand up.
I have, just these are postcards for justice. I have gotten to just hand out, if you would be willing to take 3, they're already stamped and ready to go, and just address them to your federal reps about specifically about the constitutionality or the unconstitutionality of ICE actions. I know it's not, we're not in a great spot for it to fall on receptive ears, but that would be neat if they could give us a bunch of them from our area, so that they know people are paying attention. So I have them here, I can pass them out.
Right. If you just raise your hand if you think you'd like to do 3 postcards, and she'll walk around and give them to you.
Yeah.
Then the thing is, just write your name, first name only. When you sign it, just put your first name, and you could put your zip code. But it's to your representatives, and you can find who your representatives are by looking at, I think 5 calls with that. 5 calls will tell you who your representatives are, who to send the postcards to. So if you want postcards, just raise your hand, and Margaret will come around and give you some. Anybody else need to make?
Right here.
Okay, go ahead, Beverly.
For those of you who have not had the privilege of listening to Jermaine Johnson, I'm amongst that crowd. Tomorrow night, South Carolina ETV is going to have the McMaster State of the State address, and Jermaine Johnson has been selected to respond to McMaster. So if you have an opportunity, I think I've heard really good things about Jermaine. I just saw it today, so I thought I'd bring it up to the rest of you.
All right, thank you.
On your computer.
And he is coming to our meeting on March 23rd. It's a Monday. We're having a Monday meeting, and it suits him better because he's in session on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So anyway, on March 23rd, you'll get more news about it. Anybody else have an announcement, thing to make? And I wanted to say, Kathy Redwine was here earlier. She's running for House Seat 108. We want to support her. She's running against Lee Hewitt, so if you're able to vote in that. And also, we've got Jesse Walker showed up. We're so glad you're here from the city. Thank you, Jesse. And did Sharon show up too? Okay. All right. Help yourself. There are books. We want to thank so much, Gretchen. Thank you so much again. We've got banned books in the back. They are, Bob Blumenthal is selling them, and it is a fundraiser for us also. We get $2 for every book somebody buys. And we've got snacks in the back. Get something to drink, get something to eat, sit around and talk, and enjoy each other's company. Thank you for coming.